they have enrolled 7+ customers, multiple distributors, and so I just really wanted to get them on because they're killing it, and it's just they're just doing so incredible. So, let's see here. Let's do the. Who wants to go first? Tina. You know I was gonna call on you. You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay, so just start with telling your story, and then we'll go from there.
I found it works many years ago from Oklahoma City at a state fair. I was selling for a booth myself. I decided to go walk around, and some lady introduced me the crazy wrap. I purchased it, and the products have followed me ever since. And then, like, my cousin called me up one day, right whenever I was wanting to become like stay-at-home mom, because my oldest daughter was taking care of her sisters, and I'm like so nervous.
You're fine. You're doing great.
Anyway, so my cousin called me and asked me if I wanted to be a distributor with It Works, and I said yes. I've been in the business now for 4 years, and yeah, I love it.
And you're going diamond.
Yes, and I'm going diamond.
Okay, so you have enrolled 11 customers, and so how are you doing that? Are you doing that with host to post? Are you just messaging? Are you getting them from just on your like posting about the product? How are you getting the customers, or how like any customer?
I do host to post only. I message my friends list, and then I post for a host to post on my Facebook, and just every time follow up, do whatever, but it's mainly just, I don't message normal messages. I only do host to post.
I love host to post. Is there like one that really gets you a lot of customers? Like, do you have like a specific host to post that you really like because it works really well for you?
I use the one that says, hey, love, could you do me a favor and post something for me? I'm going for a really big promotion this month, and I'd really love to have your support. If so, let me know. And then I have them do my only host to post that I do. I only do Thermified X. Thermified X is my jam, like that and keto coffee. And then I do DT host to post. And then now that's all that I do.
Perfect. Would you do you have like a good follow-up message that say they were supposed to sign up, and like say they were supposed to sign up, what would you message them, or what would you message them, and when would you message them?
Usually I message them to, like, let's say that the people that I got from host to post yesterday, which is like, I got 21 potentials just from yesterday's host to post. Between today and tomorrow, I'll send them a message going, hey, are you still interested in ordering? Because I'm placing orders right now.
Perfect.
And they'll come back. I say, hey, did you ever get a chance to go on my website or whatever? And usually they respond back.
Perfect. I just keeping it simple and just like you're talking to a friend. Yeah. Okay. And you have been, I know the very first of the month you were already killing it with distributors. How are you doing that? Are you just doing it from posting, or are you getting that from host to post as well? Or how are you doing that?
I'm doing it on host to post. So like in between doing Thermified X, I'll do a Thermified X or I'll do a DT post, depending on if I think that, how many friends they have, or, me thinking that, they're going to get a lot of people commenting. It really depends. I just do it random. So I have this one post that I've used that I use right before conference, and I got 22 potentials off of that one post. And this is from a post that I've had in my messaging for a long time. I don't know where it came from, but it kicks booty. And that's what I've been using this month. And it's really like, it works.
Yeah, I have been using that one that you gave me, and it's like so many potentials. And we can we can probably put it in the chat. Will you put it in the chat too?
Yeah.
So let's see here. So last question, if you have one tip for enrolling, whether it's a customer or a distributor, what would be like your one tip?
Be real with people.
Like on your, like just talking with people, like one-on-one, or like in your post?
I always try to be real with someone. Like if it comes to ordering a product, I always make sure that they know, like I use voice messaging. So if I go off and send you a message and you say that you're interested and they have like a question, let's say I take medication or whatever, I send them a voice message and I say, hey, I like for you to personally know that I'm a real person and I want to make sure that I find the best product for you. So can you please tell me some more details, exactly what you're, what you take and whatever, so that way I can find what I can find, whatever I can find for you. But yeah, I mean,
I feel like you have really good retention too. And I think just being that personable, because that person on the other end is a human. I think just connecting with that and making sure that you're doing that, I think really shows with you. So like with your screenshots and stuff that you send me, I mean you really show that what is it called? I don't know, like that more of a deeper connection with your customers. So.
It's the same way with my distributors too, because if they back out and they say, well, I really don't want to, I put it onto a different level, especially with everything going on. And I go, hey, you might not have a job right now because of what's going on, but I need you to think about what could happen with you doing this business, letting all the fear be gone, and think about what can happen within a couple of months after this is done, and say, hey, I signed up with that girl from social media and I'm making $500 a month now.
Mm-hmm. I love it. You're so awesome. Okay. So, is there anything that you want to add or anything, or?
I would, like whenever you're messaging someone for host to post, one thing that I've learned, which is normal, but it's more out there within the last couple of months, like as a new DT or as just in general, if you're doing a host to post, you have to make sure that whenever you make a post and you're trying to get those customers in, you need to make sure that you're making those live posts and you are posting every single day and being consistent, because I know for a fact that as soon as I want someone to do a host to post, they're going to go straight to my Facebook page and they're going to see what I'm about and who I am. So if you go off and you're like, I just send out 15 host to post and no one's responding, well, have you posted today? You got to post no matter what.
Yeah.
That's all.
Love it. Okay. So let's next do, let's see. Okay. What about, let's see. Maddie, I see you up here next. Well, I think she just left. Not left, but who wants, Amberly, are you? Okay. Maddie, you're like just right there next, right there. So do you want to go ahead and go next? Okay. You will, yeah, unmute yourself, you got it. Just tell your story on how you found it works, and yeah, just your story.
Okay, well, I found it works from my cousin, or my husband's cousin, Amberly. You guys will hear from her soon. I had been, just watching her, and finally I was like, okay, started asking her about it, and then I was like, okay, no, I'll just get in on this 2 for $49 deal. So I got in on that, and then not even an hour later, I turned around and was like, wait, no, I'm sorry, I am a crazy person. I'm jumping in.
Yep.
So, yeah, so I decided to do that. I am a wife, a mom of 2. I have a daughter, a 6-year-old daughter, Rosie, and a 2 or 3-year-old son, Rio. I'm a teacher. Right now we're not really doing much, but calling kids, making stories for them, doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a lot. It's a whole other thing, but doing that, and so deciding to jump in, I was like, okay, this will be good. I lost one of my jobs that I had, because I had 2 jobs, before starting this. And I was like, this is going to help make up that income.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to jump in.
And when did you decide to jump in? When was that?
April 2nd.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, this girl has enrolled 7 customers, right, and 2 distributors.
Yep.
And she enrolled on the 2nd of this month. And so it just goes to show, like, no matter if you've been in this business for whatever, 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, whatever, or if you just are starting, you have control of the fire, and she's going to kind of enlighten us on how she does that. So let's start with customers, because you've already gotten all of your, like, you've already earned your shopping spree. And so how are you doing that? Are you doing host to post? Are you just messaging, or what are you doing?
Okay, so I signed up like super late on the 2nd. So on the 3rd is when I started promoting that I did this. And within like an hour, I got my first customer, and that was just from posting on my story. So from that, Amberly told me, what host to post was. And I was like, okay, all right, sure. So I started doing that, and that is where I have gotten all of like the rest of my customers, is through just asking everybody to host a post for me. I messaged a few times and just didn't really like, just reaching out like about the product to people, didn't really like to feel about that. So then I was like, okay, first I'll just do host to post, and that like took off.
Awesome. Are there like a certain one that you like to use for customers?
TFX.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's the one.
Okay. So when you're talking to them, is there a certain, like, how do you close the deal? Or like, is there anything that you say specifically, or how do you think you're closing the deal the best?
Oh, I just am like telling them the truth about the products and stuff that I know, just from like, seeing results. I'm sending pictures of results to people. And then, of course, this 2 for $49 deal, I got in at such an awesome time that I'm like, everybody's like, oh, okay, I'm going to take that, because I tell them what the price normally would be, and that this is what it's going to be. And then if you do this auto shipment for 3 months, that's your price for life. So that's just been, just letting them know that they're locking that price in for life. That's how I've sold it.
It's so amazing to be taking full advantage of this deal, because if you're new or you're going for a promotion, there's so much you can do with this 2 for $49 deal, and it's just incredible, and you are killing it, girl. Are you, so you're posting to your stories for products and on your timeline?
Yes. On my timeline, I am just doing life stories. That is it. Like life posts. I don't really like to post about the products on my store or like on my posts. I don't want people to like come to my page and it's like blasting them. So I am just like, my timeline is about me, and it in court, like, oh, I wrote this down because I was like, I'm gonna forget what I was wanting to say for that one. So give me just 1 second.
Okay.
Make the business mesh with your life. That is so that is like what my life posts are, and that is how I've gotten my DTs, is through my life posts and just making it completely like incorporate my life and the business together and what the business is doing for me.
Yes. It really, I mean, it really does. It doesn't have to be very, like super businessy that you're going like, to this desk job. You just want to show people that you are working this business into being a mom. But, like if you're having a crazy night or you're going out to date night, you got to hang out on your phone for like an hour, and now you get to put your phone down and go on a date with your husband. And guess what? You're making money because as soon as you pick up your phone, you're like, oh, somebody just messaged me and they just enrolled as a customer. So like, not only like I'm always open for business, but I choose when I get to work. And that's just meshing that into your life post, like she said, is just so perfect. And keep it simple,
Mhm.
show a picture. You show a picture of your living room and your dog's laying on the floor, and just be like, I'm just hanging out watching some Netflix.
I did a live post on my story as well, along with products. I like to do that. And this morning I woke up with 5 people hitting that they want in. So that was me just messaging, all of them, getting them info. And so that is like 5, people that could possibly come onto my team,
Mm-hmm. So as far as distributors go, I think it can be, sometimes a little intimidating for distributors. If you're a new distributor trying to figure out how to grow your team, how are you doing that as a new distributor?
Well, I'm being completely real and honest. I'm telling them exactly like what I've done. This is what I did. I mean, in 9 days from promoting, I hit my bonus. So I'm like, you can do that too. You just, I get on training calls, as many of these training calls as I can. Oh, what's her name? Jade Hopper the other night told us to make a dream list. And I thought that was like such a great thing to do. So I immediately did that because that, just like sets a fire in you. That's another way that I put a fire, because this is what this business will do for you. You make that list, you make it real, you make it to where you can see it all the time. And it'll set that fire in you.
I love it. And so you're doing the live post in your stories and on your page and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yep. And just telling them, I'm being completely real with them. I'm not, covering. I mean, this is what I'm doing. This is how I've done it, and you can do it too.
Yeah. Well, and you see the confidence in your post, and I think, whether you're new or, old, whatever, I think just having that confidence and, I mean, why you started in this business, so only you can tell your story and nobody else can. And so there's, it's a little nerve-wracking being vulnerable sometimes, but people relate to your story, and just being real that's like she said, it's just that's the key. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you have one tip for enrolling, what would it be? Whether it's distributor, customer, what is your one tip that you would have?
Oh, I mean, it's truly consistency. Make sure that everybody sees that you are in it. You are doing the work day by day, and that if they can follow you, they can also get to the same point you're at as well.
Yes, love it. Consistency. Um, yes, that's really, I mean, for as many years that I have, been in this, that's like the one thing. If people can watch you every single day, like she said, people want to watch you and make sure that they can trust in the business. So you're going to have people that are going to sign up on the spot, but you're also going to have people that want to watch you and want to just, um, they want to trust your business. And so whether you have that one customer that's like signing up right on the spot, or you have this customer that's going to enroll down a line, you're always going to need that customer. Whoever, wherever they sign up, you're always going to need them. And it's just your job to find the people that are in between and just keep building and growing and planting and watering. And so, yes, consistency, love it. That's definitely like my number one for sure.
Yes.
Um, well, thank you. You're a
Yes,
rock
I'm super
star.
nervous.
You did great.
Thank you.
I'm nervous too. It's okay. um, so let's do Amberly. Where are you at?
Okay, there we go. So if I like disconnect, it'll reconnect me. So sorry guys, I don't know what's going on, but I think I'm having a little bit of connection issues. But so to start, oh, just kidding.
You're fine. Just start with your story.
Okay. So I was actually Megan's customer first. I saw her posting like for months and months and months, like, and I watched her and she reached out and I was like, I just don't know. Like I've tried weight loss stuff before, like other products, and I was very skeptical. And she was like, did you see my results? And I'm like, yeah, okay, you're right. So I went ahead and I did one of the packs. I don't remember what it was called, but it included a couple different things, had the coffee in there. And y'all, I dropped weight so fast with the coffee, and I was not a coffee drinker. Like I was completely blown away because I, again, was not someone who enjoyed coffee, but like I really liked this. And Megan on her story every day, she was very consistent with how she made it, but she also showed different ways, like hot or cold or with heavy whipping cream or just whatever. There's all these different ways that you can make it to try to appeal to everyone. And so I was like, okay. So I fell in love with the coffee. Well, I was probably about, I don't know, like 5 or 6 months in, and she messaged me, like following up with me, just making sure I was still loving the product, if there was anything else I wanted to try out. And she was like, I know this is kind of like random and like, don't take this the wrong way, but I think you'd be really good at doing what I do. She's like, you're very like a sociable person. Like I'm really talkative. I'm very chatty. Like I don't really hide anything. And she's like, so I think you'd be good at this. And so I was like, again, 100% skeptical. I've been in other like MLM, so like multi-level marketing businesses before, and I did not have success, and I constantly felt like I was a failure. And so I constantly poured those negative thoughts into myself. And I think it really matters who your upline is. And I tell Megan this all the time, like, you don't understand how strong and how good like the leadership that we have on our It Works team is. Like it's phenomenal. Like and I'm not just saying that because like I'm having success, but like that is a huge part of the success. And so not bad mouthing Scentsy, but I was with Scentsy previously and I love the products. Like, I mean, I still buy them and stuff, but as far as the business side goes and the team that I was on, I felt like I was constantly failing. And another thing, I was spending so much money trying to meet all these qualifications and do this and whatever. And so with this, you don't have to do that. I mean, with this, it's very like team oriented. And so that's something that like really appealed to me. And Megan, just kept telling me like, you don't get it. Like we work as a team. I'm like, I was still skeptical. So we talked for a couple days and I was like, what the hell? Like, oh, excuse me. I was like, what the heck? We'll just jump on in. So I went ahead and just dove in, and like, I've never looked back. And so, yeah, so that's where I am now.
Yes, and I mean, and your story, you've been, like this too. So like, kind of like in the picture, where it's like
Yes.
success is like this and it's like this, like all of our stories are like that. And yours has just been, I mean, you've just never given up, and you've always, no matter where you were in your life, this last year, because it's been like right over a year, right, that you've been in the business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, sorry, I got sidetracked. Message popped up. But you're like, you've just been so consistent and like, I don't know. So you being that, and just really, like you said, with the leadership and stuff, I think it really, I think it really, oh my gosh, I don't even know why I'm like stuttering right now. I'm sorry. It really like appeals to your leadership, and I think just, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I was going off of like your leadership and stuff, and so I think you're a great leader. You really show that with your team, and just, because she messages me every single day and just like converses with me, and just we really do work really good as a team. And to have to be successful, I really think just being really team oriented, I think really matters a lot. So just talking with your team every day is it really helps. So you have been rocking it with customers. So what are you doing? Are you doing host posts? Are you getting them from your post or stories, or what are you doing?
So it has not always been like this for me, guys. So I just want to throw that out there. Like Megan said, I've kind of been up and down and up and down. But it really does matter on what you're doing, how much you're putting into it, and you're really just reaping what you're sowing, honestly. Megan has told me from day one, be consistent. Have I been consistent? No. But guess what? This past month, I have been consistent. And you guys, like, I'm seeing so much change. So just like Maddie said, just be consistent. So I just want to throw that out there. But to answer that question, I have been doing host to post. If you guys did not see what Megan posted a couple of days ago in the chat, I can share that in there again if y'all need me to, but it's basically just like going from one thing leads to another, leads to another. It's kind of like a domino effect. So let's say I post something up, my team and I are giving away $100 on Friday. Drop your favorite color to enter. That's the post that I just did. And I have like 100 comments on there. So those 100 comments are 100 potentials, whether that's distributors or loyal customers. So from there, you go and you message them and you have them put something on their Facebook or Instagram or whatever you're doing. And then they have their friends doing it, and then their friends are doing it. And it's just kind of an effect. And in the last 4 days, I've gotten over 65 people to post something on their Facebook page for me. And it just feels so good because it's not like it took that much time and effort for me to do that. I mean, I literally send them one message, they post something, and like, boom, it's done. And from that, I've gotten those loyal customers and the distributors. I have no idea who these people are. Like, one of them is my friend on Facebook. The other one's, baby, you can come in. It's okay. Come here. Come here. You can come in here. She's still awake, guys. Sorry, I have a 2-year-old and she's not asleep yet. And I'm actually in her room because she was in our room. So, but yeah, like, so it's just incredible because, okay, honey, thank you. 6 of those loyal customers, like I literally don't know who they are, and I don't know who either of the distributors are. Like they were from a friend's host to post. And so it just goes to show you again, just the consistency just really helps. But yeah, just really host to post and then following up. I've also been following up. So with all of those host to posts, if someone posts, especially if somebody posts like a thermophyte host to post for me, the next day after they post, I'll say, hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much again for posting for me. Would you possibly be interested in some information? Or I'll say, like, would you possibly be interested in filling one of my open spots? And a lot of times they're like, no, you know, so I just say thanks and like move along. But sometimes they do say, yes, go ahead and send me some info. So, yeah, the host to posts are definitely starting to take off. So feels good.
Yeah. And you actually, you aren't a stay-at-home mom. You work, right? You
Yes.
work full-time at a daycare, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's someone who is busy. She's busy. She's a mom. So she wakes up, makes her coffee on her story every single day, and her celery every single day. And then she goes to work, and she, being in a daycare, she's not allowed, like she really can't be on her phone. And so how are you like working this business into your life?
So I know this might sound crazy, y'all, but I don't have unlimited data on my phone. Okay. So before all the virus stuff happened, I was literally going to McDonald's and sitting in their parking lot and using their Wi-Fi. I know it sounds crazy, but it's just when you want something so bad for your family and I'm about to start crying, y'all. Sorry if I get emotional, but like when you want something so bad and you are reaching for something, you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. And so me just going to McDonald's and messaging, 30 people in 30 minutes and then going back to work, I'm just trying to utilize my time as best as I can. And it's been so beneficial. Like, I know it probably sounds silly, but it's so worth it. So Megan's right. I try to get up every morning and I at least go live or at least post something on my story. Again, it is Megan. Okay, say hi really quick.
Hi.
Where's Josh?
Okay, well, okay. It's okay. Okay. We'll say hi to Josh and Arya later. Okay. And so I try to be very consistent on going live every morning. Again, I have her, so it's not always easy to do that because, they're just like in a world of their own. So I try to go live, and then if I can't go live, I always try to post something on my story about the coffee because that's what people are looking for. Like, they're like, oh, Amberly's up. She's going to make her celery. She's going to make her coffee. Like, they know your routine and they're watching. So just because you don't think that people are watching, like, they are watching you. Sorry guys, she made me like really distracted. But anyways, so I just try to utilize my time the best that I can. So I wake up, I'm on my story right away. I go and I get ready, I do my coffee or whatever, I go to work. And then right now we don't even get a lunch break. And so if it's their nap time, I might try to post something if I can. It's kind of like iffy. But then the second that I'm home and off work, I'm just right back to work. And I know it's a lot of being on your phone, but it doesn't have to be like that. You just have to, 30 minutes here, 20 minutes there, an hour here, however much time you have. It doesn't really take a lot. So
just being intentional with that time is just the key. Because we can say that we're busy, but if we're not actually busy and being intentional with our time,
not this one. I need it.
Invalid. So I think like she said, just being there and being focused in the time that you're giving. Always go. And so she's killing it. She is going diamond. All these girls that I have on here tonight, they are pushing for diamond. You're so close. I'm so proud of you guys. Okay, so if you have one tip, distributor. I don't think I said that. What are you doing for distributors?
It's really just the same thing. Just following up. I have so many, people that I've talked to since I have been in for a year. And like you said, like we're pushing, well, a lot of us on your team are pushing for that diamond. And so for those of y'all that don't know what diamond is, it's an average of like $2,000 a month. Anyways, we have this goal of getting $15,000 bonus. If y'all don't know what that is, when we hop off here, y'all message one of us because we will tell you, because we're getting it and we're doing it. But really, again, I've talked to so many different people within the last year. And so I'm seriously going back all the way from whenever I first started this business and saying, hey, I know it's been a while. It kind of just depends on like kind of what I say, but I just say, thanks so much for, still being my friend. Or if I'm on Insta, like, thanks so much for following me. I just wanted to touch base with you again. This is the best time to join because I can help you reach a $15,000 bonus just like myself. So I kind of just reinitiate that conversation and just kind of see where it goes from there. And sometimes they'll turn into customers. And then sometimes, they're like, actually, yeah, like, let's go ahead and do this. So it kind of just depends, but just really following up.
Yes, the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay, so last thing, one tip for enrolling.
Okay, listen. Sorry, guys, have to be a mom for just a second. Listen. You're okay. Can you go lay down with Daddy on the couch? Okay, you can color on this, but you cannot rip the pages out, okay? You can color right here. Can you color right here for me? Okay, I would love for you to color right here. Can you make me something pretty on there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Why are you still awake? Same. I'm just going to keep continuing with, what Maddie and Tina said, consistency. Like I said, Megan's been telling you that from day one. You have to be consistent. I actually talked to a girl today, and Megan warned me about this, and it's not like a bad thing, but I didn't follow up with her. Like, it's been months since I followed up, and I'm like, why did I not follow up with this girl? Thank you, baby. Keep going. Can you color on this one for me too? Can you color on the number 3? And I messaged her and I said, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while, but I just wanted to follow up with you, see if you were still interested in the business. She told me that she signed up with someone else. So my first thought was, oh man, I should have followed up. But my second thought was, I'm so glad that you decided to do this, So obviously I just, welcomed her into the business and told her that I was still here for her. If she had any questions, we talked about host post. She had no idea what that was. But really just being consistent. Like you have to be consistent or you're not going to go anywhere. Mm-hmm. So that's it.
And, sometimes people sign up with other people who they're comfortable with or that they connect with more. And so sometimes it doesn't, we can follow up with people all day, but at the end of the day, Amber signed up with me not only because I was her I was, her distributor as a customer, but we have a connection. Mm-hmm. And so, just, never, don't get down about it if that ever happens to you. Just, her spirits right now are just like she turned it around and she's, happy, and she was happy for that girl, and just showing that we are still a team effort, or not a team effort, a team. So, yeah, love it. Thank you. And you're going down it.
So, yeah, girl.
Okay. We next is Chelsea. She has enrolled 8, almost 9, right? Or 9. She has 9 customers. She has enrolled 9 customers. And so, first, let's start out. What is your story, and how did you get started? How did you get started on this? How did you get started in this business?
Before I start that, I just want to say, with Amber Lee, that is really awesome that you would go to the McDonald's parking lot to use her Wi-Fi. That is major commitment, and that is just amazing. So I started off as a customer under Megan. I've had her as a distributor for, I think, a little over a year. I know I had her on my Facebook for longer than I had ordered from her. So, and one day I was like, you know what? I see her. She posts her stories every single morning, and finally I just decided that, I'm going to buy from her. So I started buying, and I loved the products. And one day she, just recently in February, I think it was, when they had the $69 deal, the code, I was like, I'm just going to do it. So I took the plunge. I'm a mom of two. My husband works about 15 hours a day. So I'm normally home with the kids. I've been wanting to go back to work for a while now, but I just haven't been able to. So I was like, you know what, if I get to be home with my kids and not miss out, that's perfect. And like I said, it was only $69. So, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, she's been a customer she was a customer for so long, and just always just upbeat, and I'm so excited that she joined, because she really just she's been rocking it. And so for customers, how are you getting customers? Are you doing host to post? Are you doing getting them from your stories, or how are you getting your customers? Because you're just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it has been. So first off, when I first enrolled, it was like the very end of February, and then I immediately went on a 4-day cruise after, so I didn't have anything then. And then when I got home, I started to try to work the business, and then that's when like everything with all this virus started happening, and I got very defeated because I had about 15 people I know personally who wanted to buy products back out instantly because they were like, well, we're going to, not be able to work anymore, so we just want to wait. So I got very discouraged. I assigned one person as a loyal customer, and then I kind of just took a step back because I didn't feel comfortable kind of trying to get people to buy from me when they were possibly not going to have money to even buy food. It wasn't until about, I think, the beginning of this month, actually. I know I signed, I think, one more during March, and that was my mom. And then, yeah, it wasn't until the beginning of April that I was like, you know what? I see everyone else, they're still getting sales. They are, it is possible. So I started really, really working in April. And I actually just signed someone while on the Zoom. So that was my 9th LC. I've reached out to people that I know personally. I've done a whole lot of host to post. Like the person who I just signed, she's someone who commented on someone that I bought a personalized Easter gift that I got for my kids. I reached out to her to see if she would be interested in the products. She said no, thank you. So then I was like, hey, my team does a $100 drawing every Friday. Would you be interested in getting an entry for tonight's drawing? And she posted it for me, I think, 2.5 hours ago. And then this person commented it, and now she is a customer.
That's awesome. And what host to post is really working for you, or host to post? Which ones are working for you?
So I've mostly been doing the Thermify X, just because I do have experience with it, and that's what I've been using when I talk to customers. Is that I use the Skinny Brew every morning. I also use the Thermify X and the Super Greens. So I've been using that host to post, saying, hey, do you have up to 31 pounds to lose in 90 days? If yes, message her or comment or like. I just think it was 2 days ago, started doing the distributor posting, because I personally am the type of person who, if you just literally started with a company and then now you're trying to get me to sign on and you don't even have anything to show from that, I'm not going to sign with you, because there's so many companies out there that are just scams and they're fake. So I wanted to be able to be like, hey, I've been in this business for this long now, and now I'm getting this out of it. So, that I could help you. So that's why I just recently started doing the distributor post.
Awesome. Yeah, you and Tina both signed a customer while on this Zoom like that. I'm like,
That's
what?
awesome.
You guys are just seriously so awesome, and I love that you said that you basically, like, you were in charge of your your success. So you started and you kind of like got discouraged, which is it's common. But you really realized that you were in charge of being successful in this, and you flipped a switch, and that's really mindset is just like one of the biggest things in this business. And I love that you brought that up, honestly, because it's normal. It's so normal.
Right.
And so, yes, I love that. I love that you brought that up. So what would, do you have any other tips for enrolling distributors or talking with them? Do you have what's like something is there a certain closing question or thing that you say that really helps, or follow-up message, or?
As far as for distributors, not yet. I do have 3 people that I'm talking to currently that are very iffy about it, that they really want to. So as I said, with the distributor part, I'm still learning for that one. But as far as the loyal customers, just be honest and truthful with them. Be very consistent with them on following up. The follow-ups I've gotten, I think, 3 customers just from following up on them. And like I said, just be truthful. If you personally use the products, tell them your story. I've enrolled 2 people just by telling them my story, because I personally am on medication that makes me gain weight. I haven't been able to lose weight from it. So these products have really helped me on that aspect. And I had one customer that was saying how she hates the way she looks and everything, and I totally just broke down with her. I was like, you know what? I was in that same spot with you, because I've always been the type of person who has never gained weight in my life. And when I stopped breastfeeding my son last year, I just gained weight like crazy. And then when I got on this medication, it just piled on. So these products have actually really helped me, and she ended up buying instantly. So just be truthful, and be consistent, follow up, do your stories. If you drink the coffee, do the story making your coffee, start your morning with everyone. I actually learned that from Megan. I watched her stories all the time, still do. I love the fact that your daughter makes your coffee now for you.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like everyone else said, just be consistent, follow up, and truthful.
I love it. And I think you really just hit the nail on the head. Just being a product of the product is going to get you so far. And even if you just started, get those customers using the host to post, and use the before and afters, and get that shopping spree. Get the products in your hand and get the show people that you are using the product, and
Mhm.
you know, because they want to buy from you, that you know what you're talking about, even if you're just using it day one. You know what I mean? They just want to see you have your hands on it.
And
Yeah.
that's actually another thing that I've pointed out to customers before is that, you know, some people get results very fast. Other people, it takes time. And, you know, I've told people how when I very first started, I didn't see results fast. So I stopped. And then it wasn't until about like 5 months later, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to give it another try. And I did. And that's when I really was like, you know what? This really works. I like it. Um, and my mind just completely went blank why I started.
No, you're
It was
fine.
something you said.
Fine.
um, yeah, no, I had a point to that. I'm sorry.
You're good. It was.
Oh, also, I didn't personally get the bonus because, like I said, you know, I got discouraged and I didn't push. So just make sure you push too.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it does happen. But you know, she's still going to be, you know, getting the she's still making commissions on, you know, all of these people that she's signing now, and
Yes,
it's
I
okay
am.
if you miss something. Um, yeah, I don't know, it's okay. But you're killing it now, and I'm just so proud of you because this is just the beginning. And I was gonna say something else too. Something else that you
Sorry, I
said.
interrupted.
No, you're good. You're good. Um, yeah, I don't
And
know.
do you
My
real
mind
fast
went.
also want to say, don't be afraid to ask questions either.
Mhm.
That's a big thing too, because I've gotten so much. Like I've had people respond. I'm like, I'm not sure how to reply to them. So I just, you know, I ask questions, and that's also how I've gotten people to sign up too, is asking questions. Definitely reach out, and if anyone in the chats know your answer, we are all more than welcome to help.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, the whether it's your enroller, you know, messaging them, or if they're not, you know, quick. I mean, because we like to be quick. I'm a quick person, but um, you know, we all have lives, and utilizing those team chats like she does it. She that utilizes those chats like that, and it just gets. If someone else knows that answer, let let them help you. Utilize them. Don't be afraid to ask, because we're here everybody's here to help everybody. Um, and yeah, I really wish. But I think you really just covered it. You really just yeah.
Thank you.
But do you have any other tips or anything or?
No, I think I said everything.
Um, well, I loved this. It's like perfect timing. It's been an hour, and so you know, I just thank you guys so much for getting on. This was such an incredible Zoom, and I'm so proud of each of you guys that spoke on here tonight. And if you guys, any of you guys have any questions or anything, um, we're just ask. We're all here to help, and yeah. So I hope you guys have a good night. I did record this, so I'm going to